Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. You know, I love breakfast. I always try to make sure I get a nice, good breakfast in before I go out and start my day. Even when I sleep in, sometimes I do want to have at least a breakfast. 'Cause breakfast is delicious. You know, who doesn't like breakfast? But anyway, one of my favorite dishes I like to make is like a skillet. Just potatoes, cheese, bacon, some veggies in there. Whatever you want to throw in your skillet. But this is how I do it. So first thing I do is I usually get like a couple red potatoes. They're small, easy to cut up. Sometimes I do 2 or 3. I think these are kind of larger, so I'll probably just do a good, maybe 2 of them. I don't know, we'll see. And I got my cast iron skillet hot and ready to go. And you can dice them up as thin or as thin as you want. I like them all different sizes. I like them some thin, some thicker. Gives a little variation to it. So I'll just throw my potatoes in there. And then today, to add to this, I will be using some bacon that I already cut up. And the kind of bacon I'm using, I found it at the store. I thought it was interesting. It says cowboy rub. So that seems like it's going to be really delicious. I had some the other day. It's a little saltier than normal, but it is pretty good. So we'll definitely have some of that again today. So I'll put my potatoes in first, because usually I like my potatoes to get a little bit more cooked and crispy. Man, I'm dropping stuff already? Okay. Alrighty, and then that should be enough. Now, if you seen my other video, you remember that I did smoke some hickory cheese. It's been a couple days, and the smoke flavor really dispersed throughout the cheese, so it's really delicious. So it's really hickory. It's got that strong hickory taste to it, or mesquite. I don't know why I keep saying hickory, but it's really delicious. So I'm gonna add this to it. So it's got the cowboy rub with the smoked cheese. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Let me get my fork. I'm just moving the potatoes around a little bit just to get them kind of cooked. One thing I like about a skillet is you can cook everything in one skillet. Makes it easier. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of my black pepper, garlic powder, or onion. I forget what's all in here. I just add stuff as it goes, but it's usually always black peppercorns. Set that over there. Alright, so I'm going to turn that up a little bit. And now, it's a good time as any, I'll just add my bacon in there. And the bacon will cook as the potatoes are cooking. Some of that grease will run off into the potatoes, making them a little softer, making it greasy. Now, this ain't going to be the healthiest breakfast. So, if you're watching your carbs or your salt intake, I wouldn't recommend making this. But if you're like me and every once in a while you want something fat, greasy, and it's gonna, stick with you for the most part of the day, then you definitely want to try this. I'll just throw the bacon in there. Alrighty, so now looks like it's doing pretty good. It's doing its job. I got a nice sizzle. I'm going to cut my heat up to medium-ish just to get things going a little bit faster. And I got enough of my cheese shredded, ready to go when that's ready. And I also got some leftover onions and bell peppers. I'll just throw that in there once it gets close to being done, just cause, you know, why not? Do I got any bread? Where's my bread? Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I also got a piece of bread. I'm gonna have a piece of toast to go along with this. I'll just set that on that little cast iron for now. And also, I will do an egg, because I like eggs. You know, what's a breakfast without an egg? So I'll have one egg. I'll cook that in that skillet later when the time's right. So for now, we're just going to let this cook a little bit. So we'll just let that cook for a little bit, and for the sake of time, I'll pause it here, and then I'll come back at maybe like 5 minutes to see where it's done, and then we'll show you what I'll do next. All right, so we are back. It's been about 5 minutes or so, give or take a couple minutes here and there. So this is what we're looking like. Bacon's close to being done. Potatoes, I got some potatoes, a nice char on them. Some potatoes are going to be soft. Some potatoes are, you know, going to have a crunch to them. So that's what I like. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to scoot it back like kind of off the fire and let the pan cook the rest. I want to focus on cooking the bacon now. The bacon, I like a variation. I like it a mix. So I like some bacon to be really crispy. I like some bacon to be chewy. Just because I don't know, I think it all just goes together when you have a mix of everything. The different textures really kind of bring it together for me. So, let me not do that. Okay, so let me hold that there. All right. So now what I'll do is I'll leave that there, and actually we will go to my toast now. So I put some butter in my other cast iron skillet, and I'll just heat that up. And I also got some butter back here for my egg that I'm going to do. So while that's still going, I'm going to still watch it and stir it occasionally just so it all stays mixed in. And that way none of my bacon gets too burnt. I'm going to go ahead and cut this on a low. And I'm going to take my bread, I'm just going to throw it right on top of there with some of the butter. Rub it in there and I'm going to flip it. So that'll give me just a nice little piece of toast that I like. And then for my egg, I'm going to try to do it sunny side up if I can. We'll try that. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to spread my butter around. So the toast, I got the toast on medium. That'll cook pretty fast, and I can just put it to the side, let it sit. The egg, I got that on medium, so I will add that in a minute. So yeah, so this is how the skillet looks. Skillet's pretty much about done. At this point, once my bacon gets to the way it wants and my potatoes get to where it wants, I'll just kind of stir everything around and just kind of let everything just sit together. And then I'll cut it on low because I don't need to rapidly cook it anymore, but it can just sit and just slowly cook in the heat. That'll be great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit there. I'll let the skillet sit there. Actually, you know what? I'll bring this over. There we go. I'll put this on low. And I'll put my toast. There we go. I'll put my toast back there on medium. And I'll bring my egg forward. Alrighty. Oh, it's kind of messy, but there we go. So we'll just kind of keep it like that. We'll try to do a sunny side up if we can. And then sometimes the way this whole system is, it kind of leans a little bit. So I kind of try to tilt it so the egg kind of stays in the middle. But I don't know. We'll just leave it alone. I won't touch it. I'm going to go ahead and flip my bread. There we go. Got a nice little piece of toast going on there. My skillet is looking great. So at this point now I'm going to add my veggies. I almost forgot to add them, but it doesn't hurt. So I'll just add those on top. And just give that a stir. All right, now my egg, I'm gonna drop this to low. Sometimes I'll hit it with a little bit of black pepper, because why not? So everything looks good. Everything's coming along as planned. I will bring the toast over here. I will bring that back. Yeah, it's getting hot. All right, there we go. We'll just slide that back. Put it right over the heat. We'll bring our skillet back over. So now, as you can see, it's got a lot of grease at the bottom. I don't really want all that grease to sit in there. So usually when I'm done, I'll put it like in something like this to kind of let the grease kind of fall away from it. Or you can just scoop it out and then just let it drip for a little bit over the pan. But yeah. Now if you want to dice it up smoother, you can. I like it chunky. So that's how I do it. Over here I got my egg that's still going. Sometimes I'll try to get up under it if I can or move it around. But I don't want to break the yolk. So we'll see how it looks. Okay, it looks like it's doing pretty good. I won't touch it too much. I'll let it go for a little bit. I want to get it to slide. There we go. I think I feel it scraping. I'm just trying to get up under the egg to try to move it around. I want it to be able to slide around freely. But I don't know. There we go. Okay. So there we go. It's able to move around a little bit more freer now. I'm just going to keep that like that. My skillet's looking great. This is how I like it. It looks ready to eat. Smells really good. I got my toast. Go ahead and flip it some more. Is that on? Oh no, it's not on. No wonder. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. So that's looking good. That's looking good. I'll let that go. The toast is looking good. Everything's looking good. So now what I'll do is just so that way by the time I'm ready to eat this, just so this isn't like burning my mouth, I will just kind of scoot everything together, or you can spread it out, it doesn't really matter. And I will cut, wrong one. I will cut this off. And then I will put my cheese in there. And this is my hickory smoked cheese that I smoked the other day. And I just kind of pile that on top. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I just kind of put that right on top there. And it's as easy as that. Alright, so everything's looking good. I will cut this down a little bit and check on my toast. There we go. It's got a nice little crisp on both sides. The egg's looking great. Alrighty, so time for me to get my stuff ready and I will dig in. Alrighty. Alrighty, so I will be eating out of this skillet because it's got the grooves in there, and it's a small little size pan. It works for what I need done. So I'm going to put that there. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I always get like a spatula. I can't find my metal one, so I just got this wooden one. And what I like to do is I like to just scoop some up with the cheese, and then I'll move my toast over, and I'll throw it right in there. I'm gonna cut all my skillets off now because I don't need them. And then, so I got the cheese, the potatoes, the veggies in there, and the most important part, the bacon. Gets a little messy sometimes, but that's all right. Got my piece of toast over here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my egg. I'm just gonna slide it right on top of the toast there. There we go. The yolk's still a little runny, so when I cut into it, it's gonna absorb in the bread. And there it is. That's my skillet. That's how I do it. So thanks for tuning in and watching me cook. Until next time. Oh, like, comment, subscribe to Vic Cook and all that great stuff.